Some interesting developments happened last night on Monday Night Raw in the Allstate Arena in Chicago. Let's start with the on-screen stuff. That being that Triple H has reintroduced the new World Heavyweight Championship. It is the return of the big gold belt with a modern feel to it. I absolutely love it. And it does sound like that Roman Reigns undisputed WWE Universal Championship we merge into one belt. I don't think I said this on the air, but I told privately to a lot of my wrestling buddies and my family, my friends, and everybody who likes wrestling. I kind of felt that after Roman Reigns loses the undisputed Universal Championship, they're going to retire the Universal Championship because that championship reign has been so prominent. You can't give another, guy that belt after having that much long of a reign. And the championship before that was completely, just dead in the water from day one. It was cursed, if you will, after Finn Balor won the championship and had to relinquish it after one day. I don't think they want the same thing to happen to the World Heavyweight Championship, which would be really interesting if Finn Balor does become the inaugural World Heavyweight Champion, because they're not going to carry over the lineage and the prestige of the old World Heavyweight Championship. It sounds like this is going to be a new belt. Oh, it's really interesting. If a guy like Randy Orton or even Edge I've brought there, obviously the championship belt that Edge never lost, the World Heavyweight Championship, became the new World Heavyweight Champion. I do think, by the way, the belt is going to end its way over to Monday Night Raw. I think Roman Reigns we drafted to SmackDown, where according to Triple H, whichever brand gets Roman Reigns / the Bloodline, they will stay there, which is why I think SmackDown needs them more than Raw, because when they're not there, when Roman's not there, when the Bloodline's doing their thing, it seems to work so much better on SmackDown because of the pacing, because it's only a 2-hour show. When you rely on your top star to be on the red brand for 3 hours a week and he's not there half the time, it seems like another major problem. And it does seem like, to me, at least if I'm Fox, I don't want to lose my Roman Reigns investment. But I love it. The new champion is going to be crowned at Night of Champions. Very excited for it. Again, I've seen a lot of pitches out there. Seth Rollins, Finn Balor. I'm proposing Edge in that sort of realm, again, to get that championship that he never lost back. But I do think the person that gets this championship should have a little bit of a run, which is why I understand why you want it to be a workhorse like Seth Rollins. Triple H says it's going to be a working champion. I do think it needs to be a babyface. I don't think it should be a heel. I do think having a world champion opens the door for Money in the Bank. Obviously, they had no idea what to do last year with Austin Theory, but now you have a solution. And I've seen a lot of comments online of people saying it devalues Roman Reigns. I don't think it devalues Roman Reigns at all, because what you're saying is Roman Reigns is such an unstoppable beast. We need to build somebody so far up to take down the tribal chief that he's going to hold this belt hostage probably for a long time. And you know what? USA and Fox, they are pissed off, right? Roman Reigns is such a great champion. He does not have to be on weekly television. That's the way it should be. But for the other brand that doesn't have Roman, they're saying, well, we can't rely on Roman too. We need our own champion. So that was my take on it. I think it is the right call. Again, as much as Raw has been enjoyable and as much as building up the United States Championship has made that championship more prestige, Raw definitely does move slower than SmackDown because of that 3-hour pace. And having an extra champion, a guy that will be there week in and week out, you could even make a World Heavyweight Championship open challenge for a guy like Seth Rollins to go out there and defend the championship every week in the main event. I would love to see it. My first thought was going to be Cody Rhodes, and a lot of people made this point, and I actually agree with it. Giving the world championship to Cody Rhodes at that point does not make any sense, because Cody Rhodes' whole point is to get to Roman, to take down the undisputed Universal Champion, to win the belt that his dad never could. And that would, of course, be the WWE Championship, not the World Heavyweight Championship. Even though I don't think Cody is going to be the one to do it, I still think Jey Uso is going to be the one to do it, whether it's at WrestleMania 41, 42, 43. I think we still have to wait for a Rock match. I think we're going to get Seth Rollins down the line. And again, as I mentioned, Sheamus, Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles. There are still other wrestlers, in my opinion, for Roman Reigns to face. And when you call up guys like Tyler Bate, potentially, a Braun Breaker, a Cameron Grimes from NXT, even a Bronson Reed, a Braun Strowman, like there are options for Roman Reigns to still face for the Undisputed Championship. Now, we get to the behind the scenes section of this Wrestling Edition of the podcast. I talked about last week about CM Punk and how I thought that him coming back to AEW, I really didn't know how I felt about it. It does sound like that AEW Collision is going to be the name of their new Saturday show, which is going to take place at 6 p.m. according to Andrew Zarian on Saturday nights over at ENT. But there was some interesting news that came out of backstage on Monday Night Raw last night, and that is the fact that CM Punk was actually there. And he reportedly met with talent, he squashed beef with The Miz, talked to a lot of talent backstage, and even tried to get in a word in a meeting with Paul Triple H Levesque, who of course is the chief content officer, of World Wrestling Entertainment. And when one Vince McMahon found out about this, Vince McMahon, reportedly remotely from Connecticut, where he made a ton of script changes to the show, which should not be happening, sent CM Punk home via security. Very interesting, the fact that WWE even let CM Punk in the building. Very interesting that CM Punk even showed up to the building in the first case. Listen, I don't care if it's in Chicago. CM Punk, as in the past, said he's wanted no affiliation with WWE. He took the job with Fox Sports, which was completely outside of WWE, and he admitted that he didn't want to watch the product. There's a reason why he came back to AEW, and he said he never wants to go back to the old place. And now with the AEW and all elite drama, and even though it does sound like CM Punk is coming back to AEW, I find it very odd that he would want to go in to Monday Night Raw backstage and have a meeting with Triple H, who is the chief content officer. I don't think there is a coincidence there. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Maybe CM Punk doesn't want to bury the hatchet, though I doubt it. CM Punk is a very intentional guy. CM Punk knows it's going to get out. Punk knows what he's doing. Maybe he did it on purpose to see if WWE would leak it. Who knows? The fact Vince McMahon kicked him out too is another interesting story, which I don't even know how to get my thoughts on that. The fact that Vince is reportedly giving instructions remotely to rip up scripts during the show and change things around. The whole process in WWE right now is just insane. It is the most insane time. And I've said this over and over again. Since Vince McMahon's resignation in 2022 in July, and you can even go back to really January at the time, the Royal Rumble, when there was reported that the backstage morale in WWE was reportedly at an all-time low due to Vince's constant script changing. Over the last year and 4 months, let's call it, 16 months, wrestling backstage, whether it's been the Vince McMahon scandal, everything going on with creative, everything going on with AEW and the All Elite Raw. If you want to get into wrestling journalism and what they call the dirt sheets, obviously, and what really happens backstage and behind the scenes, it is as much drama as Roman Reigns defending the Undisputed Universe Championship and them crowning a new World Heavyweight Champion at Night of Champions, which is one of the reasons why the Night of Champions pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia was changed to Night of Champions to the King and Queen of the Ring. Not only that, but of course it is also the Tribal Chief's Undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion, 1,000-day reign as champion, and we acknowledge the Tribal Chief here on this show for giving us food and bread on our table. Do you like that clip from the Brands World Podcast? If so, make sure you go down there and hit that subscribe button. While you're down there hitting the subscribe button, make sure to also hit the notification bell so you never miss another upload. And make sure you check out all the other clips from the Brands World Podcast right here on YouTube.